instead of having 2 nickels to rub together to buy diapers in the store. It's difficult. It's difficult. But at this stage in our life, in our game, a lot of times we do have to sacrifice. A lot of times we do have to go the extra mile. And I have my first guest on the line, and they're going to tell you about that extra mile. I want to say welcome to the show. Please tell everybody who you are and what you do, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Naomi, and what I do, you ask?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Actually, I'm a designer. That's
Okay.
what I do.
Awesome. So I was reading up on your story, and I was seeing here how a lot of things have happened. Tell me about that, and then tell me what has transpired from that.
What happened in terms of, my story is about my son. He was a hip-hop artist. Yes, he was a hip-hop artist. He went by the name of Sean Cox Mason. You can find his music all online. However, he's no longer here. A New Jersey Transit bus driver had jumped the curb and killed my son. Yeah, and it's very painful to speak about.
Yes.
The driver had jumped the curb. My son was on his way, gone to work. Sorry for me pausing here. It's just like a painful story to, talk about.
I know how you feel. My son was killed last. You should never outlive your kids. I know how you feel and how you feel. My son was killed last year.
Oh, it's my condolences. I know, like they said, when a child loses mother, they become an orphan. What it is when a mother loses child, what do you call us? When a woman or a husband loses spouse, they become a widow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what terms do you call a mother? The child is gone. With her, wait. So my son, that was my only child. And like I said, he was flagging, put the bus down, and the bus had jumped the curb where he stood at. And, it had been like an ongoing, painful fight, with transit and Coach USA. They've been covering up my son's demise. And when things like this happen, what they do, when I say they, I'm talking about like dealing with the prosecutor. They blame the victim for their demise.
Mm-hmm.
But it's far from the truth,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So you started. You got your son's music still there. You started a site for your son. Tell me about that.
Yes. What I did, I have, he started the YaYa site when he was in high school. Him and a friend, they started a site called StillHipHopStash.com, and that was for a lot of up-and-coming artists to submit their music, and they upload it for free. Mm-hmm. And so after what happened to my son, his friends, they had changed it into YaYa. And YaYa, what it is his tagline. When he rapped a song, he would say YaYa. And so he was starting his T-shirt line before what happened to him. Apparently he couldn't continue on because his life was taken. So what I did, I still run his YaYa site and his clothing line called YaYa, his music and clothing line, which is on Instagram. I do New York Fashion Week to raise awareness about. I use his collection as a platform to raise awareness for innocent people whose life was killed by a reckless bus driver, Coach of USA bus drivers.
Right. Well, the legacy of your son, will go on forever. Well, what is it that you want to do besides, keeping his love and his dream alive? What else are you doing to help others?
Well, what I do after what happened to him, he was in college. He went to King University, and he went to Essex County. And the schools that he had attended, they started a scholarship. I don't like saying his memory. I always say in his honor. So what I do, I raise money to give to the schools who started the scholarship in his honor for the next student, to finish their career. He was into business finance. So that's what I do. And like a criminal lawyer, he told me to, I had to, go to the media to raise awareness and, to have the prosecutor to overturn it, because with these politicians and the prosecutor, they ignore it. So what I do that. Not only that, trying to get laws changed, not just for my son, either for all these countless lives has been taken. Like this one woman, her sister had inboxed me on Facebook, and she said she had read my son's story, and she would do anything to help me to get these bus drivers held accountable, because her sister, a bus driver ran over her sister's leg, and both her legs had to be amputated, which is, sad.
Huh.
So I told her, yes, and she was like, I'm sorry I couldn't contact you because my sister, she had multiple operations. She was in a coma, and she said the driver was never held accountable, that he should be in jail, rightfully so, like my son. These drivers have, terrible, lousy driver's record, but they still keep them operating these vehicles, which is it is a weapon, just like a gun, because it takes life in the hands of reckless people. So I told her, we can get together, grow the alliance, and get this out here, So that's what I do, is trying to involve people, so we can grow alliance and get this have these drivers held accountable. And not only that, this bus company need a whole new person to oversee and think about safety. I mean, New Jersey Transit, they just fired, a year ago, their safety compliance manager, because he was a whistleblower, and he was saying how transit doesn't care about safety. It was all about money. So, and it's sad. They don't care about human lives.
They don't. They don't.
No, so I use the platform to raise awareness, to get people to know, because transit lawyer was trying to get me to sign a gag order, and I tell people, a lawsuit doesn't get justice, and when people to get justice, it doesn't get justice. A lawsuit to me is like a bribe, because think about it. They want to give you a lawsuit, but they want you to sign a gag order so you won't talk about what's going on. So I decline it, because I'm saying, I have a right to exercise. That's my constitutional right, my First Amendment.
Right.
And when you don't know that, and when people don't know that, they just sign anyway, because they're not knowledgeable of that. And so they think, okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway. But you don't have to, because that's your constitutional right, freedom of speech. So they can't make you do that, and they just play it on the weak-minded people. And they do that, again, so you won't speak about it. So that's how come, as far as me, I can speak about it, because I refuse to sign a gag order. No money in the world is going to bring my child back.
Right.
It needs to be law implemented to hold them accountable, because with these drivers, as long as they know that the company is paying them for an attorney, they're going to continue on doing it, and they will boast about these things. Like I find across when I was Googling reckless culture as a bus driver, I came across a witness was telling me, not telling me, but when I was reading, saying that he recalled that the drivers was threatening my son, and this is online. This is not like yes, if you Google like reckless Coach USA bus driver, you will see this. You know, as this anonymous person report this, and it's ridiculous. And they know there's nothing going to happen, so they continue on doing this. And if they know that they have to pay for an attorney out their pocket, all this will stop. They know they was going to go to jail. This will stop. This will stop.
Oh, yeah.
It's like giving these people a license to say, okay, this is a license to kill, and you're not going to be held accountable. But a lot of people like me had to sit here and bury their child for no apparent reason. You know?
Wow.
So that's like I use the platform, the Naila Collection, you know, to tell the story. And what I do, when I go to New York Fashion Week, I always open up with a music note because I do textile designs. I put the music note in memory of my son because he was a hip-hop artist who went by Sean Mason or Sean M., you know. And I open it and I tell the story about it. And then after that, also, I just did over the summer last year, I started which I call the political fashion statement. And I took all the articles of everybody's lives who had been taken in vain because their life are taken in vain. And I took the article, I made a collage, and I put it on the clothing, you know, to make a bold statement to let these people know you're not going to silence me.
That's right. I saw that. And that, I love it. I love the dresses. I love the T-shirt. I did see that. Let me go ahead and go to that page. You know, it is important that we keep the love, we keep that memory, but we also, you know, speak about the injustices and the things that should not happen to our children. You know, they people just don't care nowadays. I figured it out. You know, if it's not yours, then it doesn't really matter. But in the end, you know, we are all connected, and it does matter. It matters a lot. And people who are not supposed to be driving, aren't supposed to be doing something, or are supposed to be doing something, should take accountability to their actions or their lack of. You know, when it comes to your, let me go ahead and go here. Let me see what I got here. All right, so your fashion pieces, your dresses, I love that. I love the T-shirt. And I'm looking here, and I see a picture of your son in a checkerboard shirt. You know, you know, the sad thing about this is, you know, when you close your eyes, I'm sure you can see him. When you're listening, I'm sure you can hear him. Being that he is still around with you in spirit, you know, what are you going to be doing in the future to bring more awareness?
What I'm going to be doing in the future is just continue on trying to fight for justice, you know. I hear people just telling me, oh, you fighting the politicians and you're fighting a prosecutor and nothing's going to happen, you know. I mean, I'm not comparing to my life, what my son's life with, unfortunately, with Bill Cosby incident, but I'm saying when Bill Cosby was keep getting away with it, they keep getting to the new prosecutor came and they held him accountable, you know. So I'm going to keep pushing until someone looks at it and say, okay, enough is this corruption. So that's what I'm going to continue on to do, to hold them accountable, because there's someone going to say, okay, enough is enough, you know. This needs to stop. These are lies, you know. And I know a cousin of mine had sent a email to me about the Women's March, January the 19th, I think it is. So I was going to go there, you know, and see if I can converse with people, you know, who have the same compassion to fight, you know, especially as a mother and as a woman, you know, and trying to get this active and make them a liar, you know, because they think they're invincible because they got this money and they want to bully people around and figure, hey, your loved one life doesn't mean a daggone thing. But like someone tell me, always take one person, you know, and to make a difference, you know. And I'm like, okay, I got all this information. These prosecutors was like, the lawyer is like, when you hire a lawyer, you think they're for you, but they're really not for you because they wind up turning to the other side. Because what? Mm-hmm. They want to get bribed by the attorney, which is illegal, but when you don't know the law, they get away with these things. Mm-hmm. So.
Yep. You're definitely right now.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
I was looking at the scholarship fund, too, as well.
Yeah, the Deshon Johnson College Scholarship Fund. Yes, I started that, every March the 5th. I normally have a fundraiser for my son on March the 5th, which is his birthday. Mm-hmm. And I raise money by selling his products to raise money for the students for King University. Like I said, college he attend Essex County College, and Montclair High School. I don't do Montclair High School because I'm telling you, when you're grieving, people seem like they have a tendency to try and take advantage of you. Somebody always trying to take advantage of somebody in their weak moment. So I don't work with them anymore. However, I do work with King, which they've been a very good supporter. Always have a anonymous donor to match what I don't match every year for the student to, go on to college. And they have to be like in the business field, which my son was in. My son also was a visual artist as well. He drew. So he was very gifted and talented. Yeah, so that's what the scholarship for. Yeah, I do that. That's the Deshon Johnson. On July the 18th, unfortunately, when his life was taken, I do an event, and I always go to where his life was taken at. I remember there was an article in the paper. I don't know if you saw the article when when there was we did a memorial. It was in Bloomfield on Brighton Bay, New Jersey, and the same day the township or New Jersey Transit took away the memorial. And I'm like, really? So it was a big whole ordeal with that, and I called the news station on them to expose them. That was like very disrespectful,
Right. Wow.
So every year I go there. They didn't do it this year anymore. They did like in 2014. I want to go there. They don't even bother anymore. You cannot cover things like this up. No, I'm going to continue going there. And I know one person like, well, why she got to go there? Putting all those balloons and there. I'm like, excuse me. She can go to the cemetery, but that's not where my son's life took his last breath at.
Mhm.
He took his last breath at when the driver deliberately jumped the curb and killed him. And I'm going to continue on going there. There's no law that states that I can't go there.
Correct. There isn't. Wow. Well, where can people reach you so that they can, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell everybody, if you are looking to go ahead and go to the site where the fashion site, I know I have that up on our page, as well as on our Facebook page. You can go ahead and copy that into your browser and copy and paste and go ahead and click enter in your browser to go to the page. But where can people reach you?
Well, they reach me on Instagram, all over Instagram, his music page, NaIlla, his music page on Instagram, NaIlla, and the NaIlla Collection or NaIlla Store, or you can email me at NaIlla, NoneIllah, @gmail.com. And NaIlla, well, my song, it means no one's better than him. You can reach me at NaIlla, or you can, I'm on social media, and also I sell the clothes on Tracy, Tradesy, and Poshmark. So if you Google NaIlla Collection, it pretty much come up, the store. And actually this year, I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
I said I'm going to go ahead and put that here, Instagram, right? Got it. Okay. Make sure that we put in, one or two different links in the description box below the interview. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show, for bringing the awareness, and I'm my condolences, my love, and support goes out to you. And there is no word or even even though that, no one knows exactly what we're going through, what you're going through. But what I can say is my love and my heart and support goes out with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, because that was my only child. Wednesday, July the 18th, 2012, that's when his life was taken. And actually, I became disabled in the same town, Wednesday, July 2007, when Bloomfield police officer was chasing a stolen car and hit me head on. And his best friend her life was taken first on the 23rd of January in 2012. And all this have numbers meaning behind it, and all of them like 5.
Wow.
Yeah, so. But I thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
It is my pleasure.
I'm fighting alone.
You. Yeah, you keep your strength about you, and you keep doing it. And I swear to you, and I that things will happen, and it will be in respect and honor of your son. Thank you so much again for being on the show.
You're welcome. You take care. I appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Sometimes things are placed at our feet that we don't want. The passing of a loved one can bring so much pain. But we want to do something. We want to show the injustice. We want to be there so that we can continue that legacy, and that's what this mother has done. She has continued the legacy of her son, and we are supportive of this legacy here at Dream Chasers Radio. And I want you to go ahead and go to the page and show your support in any which way you can. And thank you again for bringing this wonderful legacy to Dream Chasers Radio. And Noella was and will always be loved. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with our next guest. Don't you go nowhere. You're listening to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, YaYa Diamond.